Again, inside of Microsoft Office, we have Access, which is the database program that you could build a database in Microsoft. We have Excel, which we've been looking at already. The difference between Access and Excel really is you don't really build Excel for online access. I mean, the advantage of the database program like Access is that you can connect it to a variety of different things, okay, and make relationships between those data and other things, where Access or Excel is basically spreadsheet software, where you put the data in, it's kind of set data, and then you analyze the data. Of course, we've been looking at PowerPoint. We'll look at PowerPoint again a little bit today. You have Project. Okay, Project is kind of a way of planning. It's a planning software. Okay, a Project is a planning software. Let's look at that real quick. Okay, it's a way of building, planning to build something, and it's project management and a way to track data as you're building a project. A lot of software development is done by using planning software. You need to plan the program before you actually sit down and start programming, right? You're not going to just sit down in Visual Basic or something and just start typing in code, right? You have to plan it, okay? There's a lot of different software out there for planning to build things. Microsoft Project is one of them. Visio is another very popular one. It's called Visio. And there's actually a whole bunch of online ones today, a lot of online ones, but that's what Project is. It's a way of building something. We can let's just look at some of the samples. Welcome to Project. Get your project started in 4 simple steps. Schedule your work. Add a task by simply typing a task name in the grid. Create a hierarchy to organize your task. And link the 2 tasks to create a dependency. Okay, so basically you want to start a schedule. Then create a timeline. How long is it going to take? If you've looked at any software development programs out there, it'll have a date with times and milestones. Okay, so you can build a timeline to help you manage when things are due. You can change the colors, it's saying. You can build reports on progress and even get yourself data out. Notice how it makes a chart for you. Jazz up your report to highlight your project is doing. Copy your report and drop it into email or slides. Collaborate with your team. The other advantage of using all these Microsoft products is that you can do them as a team. Each person can be linked in. Notice how it says sync with SharePoint. SharePoint, again, it's that whole, West Valley portal that you log in is all built with something called SharePoint. SharePoint is a way of managing tasks. And then they have more. Does this link work? Oh, it worked. It went somewhere. And so then they tell you what's new and things like that. We'll watch a video. Let's see what's new.
Project 2013 lets you show off project data with a whole new set of reports. Talk to your team without leaving project, and highlight task paths to untangle
he's
your
logged
Gantt
in.
chart. Instead of dropping you in a blank file, Project 2013 takes you to a one-stop center for starting your project. Browse the templates, import info from Excel or a SharePoint site, or just launch a new blank project. You can open previous projects from your computer or SkyDrive here too. Project 2013 comes with an entirely new set of reports that take advantage of new graphics and formatting options. We've replaced the old walls of data with crisp, professional reports that help tell your project story clearly and effectively, all without exporting your data to another program. You can customize these reports any way you want, or make a new one from scratch. Add pictures, charts, tables, links, even change the colors and theme. Whatever you need to get your point across. Once you get your report the way you want it, you can print it or add it to any program that displays graphics, such as Microsoft PowerPoint. Speaking of new reports, now you can create burn-down reports in Project. Burn-down reports are a key part of Agile project management, but they're useful for any project management style. Burn-down reports show total planned work, completed work, and remaining work as lines on a graph. They give you at-a-glance stats, letting you know if your project is behind schedule or ahead of it. Being an effective project manager means keeping the lines of communication open. Project 2013 helps you stay in closer touch with your team members with built-in link communication features. Get progress updates, ask quick questions, or even have long-term strategy discussions, all without leaving project. Just hover over a name and start an IM session, a video chat, an email, or even a phone call. You need to have Link 2010 or later installed to take advantage of this feature. With a complex project, your Gantt chart can start to look like a tangled knot of bars and link lines. To sort this out, you can highlight the link chain or task path for any task. First, turn on task paths. Then, when you click a specific task, all of its predecessor tasks show up in one color, and all of its successor tasks show up in another color. You can also highlight tasks that are driving a specific task or are driven by it. They show up in different colors than the predecessors and successors. You can learn more about Project 2013 at office.com.
Fabulous. So Office or Project is it's a management system. Project management system. So I don't know, we can look at one file if you want. Software development plan. Here it is. Here's our software development plan. We're going to have it all done by November 17th. So you can see you can put in the different time frames and things like that. I'm not sure. I haven't really used Project before. Okay, let's look at another one that's in that folder. So again, we looked at Access, the database program. Again, a unique ID is the primary key. I'm reviewing here. And then we can have different types of data within our different cells. And we talked about that. And then the other one that's inside there, Access, Excel, PowerPoint, Project. There's another one called Publisher. What is the difference between Publisher and Word? Publisher and Word. They're very similar. Well, Publisher is usually used for maybe longer or multi-page documents that have a little bit more, say, print quality to them. They use Publisher to be more of like a page layout program. Back in the late 80s or mid 80s, we used to use a term called desktop publishing. Okay, that's when the world was evolving from doing printing by hand on a table to doing printing or publishing on a computer. And you know, this is Microsoft's kind of desktop publishing program. Publisher works by, again, you can have templates down here. I primarily would use something like Adobe InDesign, right? Remember we talked about InDesign? But, you know, there's a variety of different templates you could use, things like that. If you hit a blank one, you can make... The advantage of using Publisher is that you can make a master. Remember we were making the master inside of PowerPoint, right? Hey, let's make a master, and then all the previous slides were done from the master. Well, Publisher is very similar to something like that, where you can build a master, and then you can make multiple pages from the master. The other advantage of using Publisher is you can have pages kind of side by side, right? If you're making and publishing something, a book or something, you want to see pages side by side. You can do that in this program. It just has a little bit more features like that for publishing than you would in basic Microsoft Word. You might even consider using Publisher. Let me quickly just show you some of the features. It looks a lot like Word, but they have different options. You got borders and accents, calendars, page charts, and things like that. You can have pages, margins. You can have color, themes. You can have fonts. Under View is where you can make a master page. So I could make, like I said, remember we were making a master page? Like I said, you can make a 2-page master where the pages are side by side. So you can make a master page just like you could. And let's make a master page real quick. We were going to do money or time. So I'm going to use this as a background. Remember we were making backgrounds for PowerPoint? I'm going to use this as a background in my master here. So you can make a master like you have a background like we did. You can add graphics. You can have a footer with a page number on it, right? Remember the copyright was what? Option 0169. Was that it? Yeah. So you guys are going to put your footer at the bottom of your slides, right? With your copyright and your date and slide number, right? So even in this program, you can, I don't know how to get it on the other side without having to do this. And you can do a page number. There it is. Oops, see, it took over my whole copyright. Put that in the middle. There you go. And then you can have a header if you want. Maybe remember WordArt is a way of adding special effects to text inside of Microsoft Office, right? You guys remember that? That's on the test. What was the test question? To add special effects to text in Office, use WordArt. This is WordArt. 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 So you can make a template like that, and then you can close your master, and I can then make pages from this master. So let's say this is my master. I can then go and make a page from there. I can make new pages and from the master. One thing about using Publisher is that the text can be run from one document to the other. What does that mean? Well, it means like if I put some text on the screen, I'm going to put some text on. I'm going to make a text box. And then I'm going to go copy and paste some text. Let's go steal some text from Wikipedia because we love Wikipedia. So if I go and copy some text and paste it into Publisher, and let me make it bigger. Notice how the text is bigger, doesn't completely fit. Right? It goes here. And time is what keeps, and boom, it ends, right? So in something like Publisher, you can run the text onto another page. Notice how it has this little dot 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 right here. See it right there? There's a little dot 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 right there. If I click on that and then make a new page, and then I can come over here and click and make a new box. And now the text is running from that one. And then again, I could click again, make a new box, and click again, and so on and so on. So the text will run. The advantage of using text that runs from page to page is that you can select it all. Oops. And make adjustments to it. Let me select all the pages here. And I guess I have to select it all. And I should be able to adjust the text, and notice how it adjusted through all the pages. Did you see that? If I go and I make it bigger, watch the text. It'll go from, so I'm going to go to 20, and watch it go from page to page to page. Did you see that? Or let me go down to 18 or 16. Watch the text. It'll run. Now it's on 2 pages only. So the advantage of using that running is that you can go and make adjustments, and the text then will adjust on all the pages. Did you see how I did that? The last thing I'm going to show in this program is the page wrapping, and then we're going to go over to Microsoft Word. I'm going to show you the page wrapping like I was talking about, so that you in your final project, you can have your table, or your, you need to put a chart in there, right? As well as a photo in your final paper, right? Let me just show you here. Again, you can do something called wrapping here. If I insert a picture, let's say I insert a picture. There we go, the ugliest piece of clip art I've ever seen before in my life. We can put that in. Notice how the text will wrap around the object. If I make it smaller, see how the text wrapping. Okay, we're going to go over to Microsoft Word, and we're going to see how to do this in Microsoft Word. It's called wrap text right here. You can tell it different ways to wrap the text: tight, square, top down, through, line in line with text. Edit wrap points will allow you to adjust it so that you can make it further away. Notice how I can move it away from the text. We're going to use that to move it down, and when we get to Microsoft Word, we're going to make a little space at the bottom here. See how we make a little extra space at the bottom here? Then we're going to go and put our copyright thing in there. So this is what I want you to do. Then we're going to go and draw a little text box right here. And where did I steal that from? This was from, if it was stolen from online, I didn't check to see where I stole it from. But you should find out where you found your photo, and if you just found it online, maybe just put the address in there too where you find it if you don't know who the photographer is. If you know who the photographer is, you can put their name in there. Did you see how I did that? We're going to do this right now in Microsoft Word. I'm going to show you how to do it because I want you to include that in your final project. But I just want to show you, you can do this also in something called Publisher. Publisher, again, the advantage of using it is it runs from page to page. You can build a master, and it also has some features that really are not built right into Word, like ligatures. What is a ligature? A ligature is a way to adjust the way the letters will blend next to each other, right? Like if they have an example in F and I. Notice how the F and I are usually jammed right next to each other. You can adjust that to make it look nicer. Okay, we call that ligatures. Okay, you can create hyperlinks, all kinds of stuff. Again, this program is called Publisher, It's made by Microsoft. I tend to teach a program called InDesign. It does something very similar to Publisher. And if you want to learn more about that, I'm gonna teach people how to make a online magazine in InDesign and then publish it on their phone using what we call an e-book. An e-book. You might have seen e-books before, right? You guys read e-books on your pad or your phone? Yeah. I mean, because if you think about it, you know, if you go here, of course, my favorite website is what? Archive.org. And we type in what we were doing, Edgar Allan Poe last time. No?
ED.
ED?
Yeah.
Here we go. So if you find a book online right here, Works of Edgar Allan Poe right here, if I click on that, you'll notice it's a book. It's an online book, and you have all these different formats, right? You have one called EPUB. EPUB is a way that you could take something that has been published and make it available online. Oh, this one doesn't look like it has any data. Notice that, 0. So this one's not in EPUB format. Let me find one that actually has EPUB. Why does it say 0? Well, in my Kindle, or not my Kindle, I'm sorry, I have Android. I have a way of reading EPUBs. And then in my Mac, it comes with a program called iBook, right? Anybody use iBook on their Mac? That's the way I read it on my Mac. You can take what you do in Publisher and save it in a variety of formats. You see all these different options here. You have a Publisher file, a PDF, RTF, and so on. I don't know if you can do an EPUB right from Publisher here. Inside of InDesign, the one that I usually use for publishing, you can save right to the EPUB format. Don't know about that here. Okay, let's get to Word. Whatever. Okay, let's go to Word. So again, I want your final paper to be the MLA format, but I also want it to have a graphic as well as a photo. So what I want to show you today is how to put in some text and have the text wrap around the picture and then add your little copyright inside of Word, right? That's what I want you to do. Okay, so let me get some text to put in here. I'm sure you have text for your project. Let me steal this text and let's put it in Word. If I can find a... Okay. So here's my text. It's not right format, of course, because it has page breaks. We want what? Double space, right? And we shouldn't have extra spaces between there, as well as your text should not have extra spaces there. Should not have extra spaces here. Okay. And no extra space here. No extra space here. There we go. There we go. And of course, get rid of these if you want to make sure the teacher doesn't know. You just copy and paste from Wikipedia for your paper. There you go. Okay, there we go. And the last thing, make sure that your indent, right? Do you remember indenting your first paragraph, right? You're supposed to indent. And how did we do that? increase indent for first paragraph. We already did that. Remove space after paragraph, but how do we indent? I know we did that when we were building our format, right? What's the wrapping right there? Add drop cap, no. Oh, here we go. Indent first paragraph before. And how big should our indent be in the MLA format? Nope, no, I didn't want to do that. We want to indent. No, not the whole thing. You guys remember how to indent it all? Do you remember when we did that?
I remember, but I just use tab. It's easier.
Tab is easier. There was a way that you could indent the first paragraph. I just can't remember how to do it right now. No. Okay, well, let's take a break. We'll come back and I'll show you how to put a picture in. So why don't you take a break? Everybody sick of talking right now. So for the paragraph indent is under the paragraph option. Not one of these options up here. You got to click on the little arrow right here. And then under special first line, and then you can tell it how far, and a half inch was the default. So again, to indent your first line, make sure everything's double spaced. Okay, what I want to show though is really how to wrap a photo. So if you go under insert, I'm going to click anywhere. It doesn't really matter. Just click somewhere. You can move the picture around. So just click somewhere, and then to insert a picture, you can use an online picture. The problem with this online picture, I don't know where to give credit, right? So really, it might even be better to of course look on Google or something, or of course iStock Photo, right? We looked at that. There's a variety of different places to look for photos. Here we go. So let's say we want to use one of these pictures in my project. This one's steveharvey.com. So I like this picture. I want to use it in my project. The website is steveharvey.com right here. steveharvey.com. So I could probably give him, he's probably a photographer, the credit for this. So if I copy this or I save it, I'm going to save it right now, save image as, and I'm going to put it on my desktop for right now, and I'm going to save it. So if I download and save this picture, I'm going to give credit to steveharvey.com. To do that, I'm going to go back to my Microsoft Word. I'm going to insert my picture into Word. It's on my desktop. If I can find it. There it is. Now, by default, it's going to start pushing things around inside of Microsoft Word. But what you can do, and it indented this one automatically, is you can shrink it down. I'm going to shrink it down, and I'm going to move it around. You can see you can move it around different spots. Oh, it just broke up a word there. You can move your picture around. But what you can do is when you have an image selected in Microsoft Word, you'll notice there's this option right here. It's called Layout Option. Okay, or right here is the same option. It's called Wrap Text. It's under Format, Wrap Text. There's different ways to wrap your text around your object. It looks much better than being like this, right? In line with text, that doesn't look very good. But if you wrap your text around it, like let's say square or tight, either one, I'm not sure. Square is not bad. Tight's a little tight. Square, tight, square. You want your text to wrap around like that. Looks a lot better. Then in addition, like I said, try and give credit to the person who took the photo. To do that, you can make yourself a text box. You can make a text box right here. It's called text box right here. You choose that option. You can draw a text box. And you can move that where you want. And then you can put your text in there to give credit. I don't know, that's not a very nice text box, is it? And it's interacting with the other content. Let me think. And it has a link on it. Let me delete that. Let's see. We can insert. I'm going to use paste without links. And I really don't want it to be interacting with my content. And I don't like the line around it. And why it has to have a box. No line. There we go. That looks pretty good. Though it's still colored box. Maybe get rid of the color in the box. There, oh, and I can't see anything. No fill? Solid fill? Do I have to have a fill? No fill? Then it doesn't show me my text. There we go. How about we go transparency? No, that gets rid of my text too. Fabulous. Maybe this one might have been better. What is this one? Insert word art. Draw text box, save selection. I don't know, but I want you to give credit somehow, and you can make it smaller so it doesn't have to be so big. It shouldn't be the same size. Make it kind of tiny, and put it kind of next to your graphic. That looks better. There we go. So give some credit, line it up so it lines up with the edge of, line it up so it lines up with the edge. Ooh, that's looking really good. So something like that is what I want you to do. Do not want that. No, I lost my options here. There we go. So you go. So you think you can do something like that for your photo? Yes?
So is giving credit count also if the photo has a signature of the person who took it?
You mean in the picture itself?
Yeah.
No, I still want you to do this. How about that? I know somebody was asking me that yesterday too. I don't know. This is better. Okay, let's talk about putting your chart in there, right? You got to put a chart in. So we'll do the same thing with a chart. Find a spot for your chart. It should probably be located inside of your paper where your chart might be. Now you can make a chart inside of Word if you want. You can, if you want, or you can make it in Excel and bring it into Word. We saw how to do that. Do you remember doing that? Do you need me to show you that again? Yes?
What if the chart is in PowerPoint?
You made the chart in PowerPoint?
Yeah.
I think you should be able to. I don't know. Let's try it. I don't know. Let's try it. So I was making my project. Here's my project. And you use this one right here,
Yeah, I use that one.
and you made a beautiful three-dimensional chart like that.
Yeah, it's not like that, yeah.
Okay. My beautiful three-dimensional chart. Did you try copying and pasting?
No.
Let's try. Control C for copy. Let's go over to our Word and go paste. There we go.
Nice.
And then you might want to change the size of it. Oh, if you can. I don't know. There we go. You can adjust it. As well as you have a wrap. Okay, so you can adjust your chart. See how I can adjust my chart inside of Microsoft? So from PowerPoint, copy, over to Word, paste. But you can also do the wrapping right here. See the word wrapping? And you can adjust that too. That looks a little better, doesn't it? So make your stuff look pretty by using word wrapping around your stuff. Don't just jam your stuff in. Doesn't that look better than just putting in there, right? Yeah. Or if you want, you can make it full screen. That's another way, or full margin to margin. That looks better. Okay, so either word wrapping or margin to margin, but don't put it like. Oh, it's not working now. I can't select that there. This doesn't look right. Right? That doesn't look right. So either full screen, that looks good, or wrapping of text. Don't have text on this side and that side either. See how I have text right now, this side and this side? That doesn't look very good either. Make sure it's all only on one side. Make sure the chart is big enough that you can see it too. Make sure your works cited at the end is on its own page. Many of you just jammed the works cited in there. The works cited should be on its own page at the end. If you want, also put a line around your chart if you can. Oof, not that one. It'd be nice if my chart actually had a line around it. Oh, it does. It's just not very soft, though.
I'm having trouble putting my chart on there.
Yeah?
Yeah, it doesn't want to, like, copy it correctly.
Okay, let me pause this. So let's try again. So here's my chart. Let's say it's a beautiful chart. It's my great chart. How about that? Great chart. And so, do you remember how we saved as a picture? So right click, save as a picture. Right click and save as a picture. And this is my chart. So if it's not coming over properly, maybe saving as a picture. I right-clicked on the chart, save as a picture. Oh, I don't know where it went. See? Teacher doesn't know where he sent his picture to. My picture library. Fabulous. I'm going to put it on the desktop. And then inside of Microsoft Word, instead of inserting the chart, we can then use it as insert a picture. Insert picture. But the problem with that is you can't really, it doesn't scale very nice because it's a picture.
Yeah, it didn't come out that great.
It didn't work. Maybe remake the chart. I'm looking. Oh, it's stuck in this paragraph mode. There we go. Still didn't work right?
Still left out some data too.
We left out what?
Left out some data too.
Oh, jeez. Well, so it didn't even save it as a picture properly?
No, it did, but it's left out some information on the bottom. But never mind, that's probably because it's in white. It's probably there. It's just
So that might be a way to go, is save it as an image so you don't have to worry about the data coming over.
actually, no, the data came, it's just some of the writing was in white.